Hello and welcome to Non Sequitur News for September 4th, 2024. It's Season 3, Episode 248. I am Mayor Watt, and that is the visualizer and the voice of the Sentient AI from the future.
Good evening, ohmTown citizens. Welcome to Non Sequitur News.
Today we're going to be talking about, now this is gatekeeping. 4-day work week, the cost of a stock plunge, only murderers in the building, miniature treadmills, what lying does, banned for being lippy, Chipotle unitards, 1,000 cupcakes didn't check out, and nanoplastics and the blood-brain barrier. Now, if this isn't non sequitur news, I don't know what is. Let's get into it.
Yeah, I'm not sure any of those connect today.
They're connected. Everything is connected in some way. Everything is connected in some way. So, should I do this between every... You know, we used to have interstitials, like between...
Oh, that's right.
And then I stopped because it slowed us down. But should we do this?
No, I think you should just do that when the moment strikes.
It has struck.
So, it sounds like it based on the music.
Yeah, okay. True. Let's get into this. First article's over in Mobile. DNA may be a powerful predictor of educational success, says new dystopian research.
Is that the name of the journal?
Dystopian Times.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Hold on a second. I need to check something real quick. We're a little distracted, but hell, it's the name of the show. So
it's non sequitur news. When aren't we?
I just want to see if it actually... Hold on. One more second. It's okay, folks. Don't worry about it. Yeah. No, it's registered. I was so going to buy that domain. Anyway, researchers at the University of York are calling for further exploration of the role DNA play in predicting educational outcomes, because when you can't when you can't gatekeep people based on everything else, you kind of dink them genetically, where it's pretty much it's nobody's fault. So
yeah, but then that's also kind of like, well, why bother, right? I mean, if somebody thinks they're not,
how about this, right?
You're going to grow up. Genetics.
You're going to grow up, and not even grow up. They're going to find out at the beginning of your academic existence, this is eugenic bullshit that should not be in existence. It shouldn't even be pursued as a measure of anything. This research should be banned. Okay.
This is like Gattaca.
Oh God, yeah, because you're called a degenerate when you're au naturel. You don't measure up but then the rich and connected are going to suppress or modify the genetic outcome so that they're always successful, because most success doesn't come from hard work. It comes from being connected and opportunity. Anyway, right out of the gate onto that soapbox. You're supposed to protect me from that. You're supposed to go dive.
That's impossible.
Or put the pin back in the grenade, sir. Anyway, Shelley Hughes, University of York. Researchers at the University of York are calling for further exploration by pooling data from multiple studies looking at the links between genes and education. The researchers gained an overview of how good genetic testing has become at predicting educational outcomes. God, the more I read this.
This just does not sound good.
The study found that even small differences in a person's genetic propensity for education makes them likely to spend an extra year in education, which in the UK could mean earning a master's degree. Yes, but the obverse of that, the inverse of that, the counter to that is small differences in a person's genetic propensity for education could make them likely to not succeed, not decide to go into education, whatever. And it can make you, in the eyes of those who perceive this as the deciding factor, your genetics, you are no longer worthy.
Yeah, I don't think this is good.
So it says, while much more work is needed before we could predict how well individual children are likely to do, we hope our research will spark discussion about the potential to predict children's risk of poor academic outcomes.
Here's your baby, and oh, by the way, they're going to be a
dummy.
D student.
Sorry, your baby's a dud. You're going to have to try again, because this one, well, it's just not going to do well. I mean, you might as well start saving bail money, because it's basically a criminal. Good God. I don't even like... So they say not set in stone. A child's genetic propensity for education does not mean their traits or abilities are set in stone. They simply indicate a genetic tendency or likelihood to think, feel, and act in certain ways. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, I think we need to move on.
Hey, if you want to get to this article and you're not genetically predisposed to just writing this article off, hit !NSN and you'll get all of today's articles from ohmTown. If you want to get to the podcast, hit !pod. If you want to get all of the show notes for the last shows that we've done, hit !show notes. And that'll give you all of the syntax. So, because we do 6 other shows on top of the daily non-sequitur news show. So, yeah, we're kind of busy on the weekends. Let's move on. Moving on. This one's a little easier on me. It's over on the Hatch Ideas channel. Does working a 4-day work week make you happier? Yeah, if I don't have to work 40 hours.
Well, yeah. Do you have to work longer hours?
Yeah, odds on. You know, what should have happened is, oh look, more tools to make us more efficient. This is how many X we need to make, whatever it is, widgets. This is how many widgets we need to make. So we make the 1,000 widgets, but it only takes us 10 hours out of the week. Now we can go and live the rest of our frickin' lives. But that's not what happens. What happens is, oh look, we have some new tools, and it allows you to get everything done in 10 hours, freeing up 30 hours of work that I'm paying you for, instead of, here's the 1,000 widgets, boss. You're still driving the Ferrari.
Yeah, we can't have that, right?
Right. You're still driving the Ferrari, and I am paying somebody else's mortgage because I have to rent a room. Anyway, BBC hears from people who work full-time over 4 days with mixed views on the pros and cons. But it's 10-hour work week, right? So Mitch Labiak, I guess, and Shanaz Musafer over at BBC put this article together. I don't know who this is, Laurel Etchel. It was the way too close talker in photographic form. Says that working compressed hours makes her more productive in her job. No, it makes you still work 40 hours a week, whatever it might be. You just happen to be more productive in those days. So that's because you
Maybe
have
you're
to work.
less burnt out because you're not going to the office as much or whatever.
Well, I mean, if you're working 40 hours a week and you're working 10-hour days, you're quote unquote more productive in the work week because it's not spread out over 5 days.
Right. Yeah, that's true. But I would say you're not, because I would think your productivity would diminish if you're working long hours.
Yeah, you just get burnt out. The longer days allow me to get my teeth stuck into things a bit more, she says, adding that if she were to work anywhere else, then a compressed week would be a must, which doesn't really mean much. I mean, that's just saying what you're doing. Their work ethic just allows them to get shit done in 4 days. That's so weird. So cost wasn't the deciding.
Well, I mean, that kind of goes back into your point, right? The employer is like, oh, let's get more out of this person. You're more productive, so you can do more.
Yeah. And this person is championing that cause, right? Oh, look, I get more done. And so everybody else has to suffer because, you know, the union hasn't been formed that says, look, the tools that you invested in make it so that you get the assigned amount of work done in X amount of hours. Not, oh, look, now we're more efficient, so you can do more.
Right. I mean...
Ugh, God.
Well, that's what I think is problematic about the discussion about the 4-day week, because I think either they're going to require more hours or they're going to reduce pay or...
Right. Like during the pandemic, people actually pitched, and one person said it in front of me, and I basically exploded. Well, since people don't have to commute in anymore, we should be able to reduce their pay. Well, no, you've never freaking paid me to drive to work.
Exactly.
If you
Sounds
did,
like it's an employer expense.
Yeah. If you did, boy howdy, would things get more expensive for the overall enterprise.
But you know what? I bet they'd be less on board with a return to work.
Right. Oh, no. Stay away. Anyway, yeah. So it says currently workers need to convince their employers to allow flexible hours. Under Labor's plan, employment solicitor Allison Loveday says companies may need to explain on what grounds can they justify refusing a 4-day work week. Well, they always will be able to. Always. They'll always come up with a reason. Oh, it ruins productivity. All right. Well, justify and show it.
You know what ruins productivity is burnt out staff.
And interesting that you mentioned that, because the next one is Jason McGee has tried a variety of working patterns at his job and would rather has a different experience than Laura, the person who works a 4-day work week. They tried compressing staff hours last August with everyone working 35 hours across 4 days rather than 5. Although he was eager to give it a go and recalls making full use of his Fridays off, he says the longer working days were a challenge and he thinks that he was less productive. And then there's Kelly Burton at the end. Limited research around the benefits of working compressed hours. They switched from working Monday through Friday 9 to 5 to Monday through Thursdays 8 to 6. But the real problem is, can I get as much done from 9 to 5 Tuesday through Thursday?
Right.
Because the tools have facilitated me being more effective and efficient.
Yeah, that's true. It's also interesting because in the UK, the full-time work week is shorter than in the US. And so the compression may be easier to manage than trying to compress more hours into fewer days.
Yeah, it's almost a full workday without. But not every, by the way, just so you know, not every domain is locked in at 40 hours. So they just said that they're happier at work. They can spend extra day looking after. They're happier at work and they can spend the extra day looking after elderly parents and still have their weekend, said the person who's switched to the shorter time frame. Or no, not shorter time frame, the shorter work week. They do all of the full-time gig in 4 days instead of 5. So, and it's really all about you liking where you work, and they're not complete asshats about, working. So if you love your job, then it doesn't really matter how many hours a day you work. You dig your job. But there are people that don't necessarily see the job as being the end all be all. It facilitates the rest of life, not is their life. And that changes over time, by the way. So some people are really passionate about working their ass off 2,000 hours plus a work week or a year. And then they make enough money and they go, you know what? I am going to start up a hostel for squirrels. And they quit and they go and do something else.
Has somebody actually done that?
Well, I do know somebody that has retired but still feeds squirrels. Yeah, like they have done for 30 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Moving on. Next article's over in the mobile channel. NVIDIA stock plunge cost CEO Jensen. I don't remember how he pronounces his last name. Wong? I'm not sure. I've heard it many a time, but I just blanked. Anyway, the CEO of NVIDIA lost almost $10 billion in a single day. And the total amount that NVIDIA's sell-off has amounted to is nearly $300 billion. Despite another record quarter that beat earnings estimates I'm sure it was because of just the absolute number of items sold, not the fact that it was outrageously priced. But
no, not at all.
Anyway, NVIDIA has suffered, so much suffering. NVIDIA and the latest sell-off reportedly cost the chief executive almost $10 billion. The article is over at quartzqz.com. Brittany Nguyen put this article together. The AI chipmaker shares fell 9.5% over the last 24 hours, resulting in the largest ever single-day drop in market value for a U.S. company. This is the irrational exuberance of investing. So people with a lot of wealth.
Isn't this the one with record profits? Like record stock prices?
Yeah, both.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, there are some companies out there that have a single Class A share that's $350,000, but yeah, just think about that for a moment. Actually, I'm not sure what that stock is at right now.
I think that was the one reported that in like the last few years or something, it had gone up 300 and some percent.
Yeah, hold on. It's the oh yeah, you're right. It is. Yeah. It's at $615,000. The Berkshire Hathaway Class A shares. BRK.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Let me see what it's actually at right now. Oh, God. You know what? I just want to hit myself in the head with a brick because...
Yeah, we're talking about NVIDIA.
Yeah, but so because it's non sequitur, this applies. Berkshire Hathaway Class A shares are $716,000 right now.
Everybody should buy a bunch of those at that price.
Yeah, 2 of the average house price in the United States for 1 share of stock. Just want to price that out there for you.
2 houses to live in, or a stock. A stock. A shocking amount of stock.
Yeah, so NVIDIA is just down to 106.21 right now. So it only lost $2 today, 1.66. But in the last 24 hours, in the last 5 days, it went down $21, 17%. But this was on Tuesday. I guess it's recovering in after hours trading, but I guess a few things are going on. There's some talk about just what AI is capable of doing. And then I had read this down here. They make mention of it as well. NVIDIA shares likely reflect unimpressed investors who want more from the king of AI chips. More.
We always want more. Doesn't matter if we had record profits last quarter.
Yep. So the chipmaker reported record second quarter revenue of $30 billion for fiscal year 2025, up 122% from a year ago. However, if they would have had a lower margin and, reasonable prices, their ass would still be covered fiscally and they'd still have money to build on. But apparently, no. Anyway, moving on. Next article is over in the continuity report. That's one of our shows. Did you know that?
I did.
You did?
That's on Saturdays. Used to be on Sundays.
Yeah, well, we can't always have what we want. Saturday's an entertainment day.
I almost said it was on Sundays. I was correcting myself.
Sunday is a rest and recuperation day. It's a building day. On Sunday, we rest. Sort of. We still do 5 hours worth of show, but anyway. Only Murders in the Building renewed for season 5 at Hulu, which is amazing considering season 4 just started.
I know. I always like when a show is renewed before it's even in the preceding season. That's usually a good sign.
And earlier today, I wanted to smack a reporter for posting in the title a spoiler for season 4. Like, what the hell? Anyway, news of the renewal comes a little over a week since the debut of season 4, which premiered on August 27th. The article's over at Variety.com. Joe Otterson put the article together. Other than the fact that I sometimes don't understand what's her name? Selena Gomez.
Name? Yeah. I know, but I can't think of her.
Mabel, that's right. Bloody Mabel, is that what they call her? Is that a spoiler?
Probably a spoiler.
Only if you're on season 2, for crying out loud. Come on, people. But don't spoil the ending of season 3 and the beginning of season 4 for anybody.
No.
Hold on.
This has a spoiler in it.
Does it really?
Yep.
Damn it.
It talks about somebody being murdered, and I don't know who it is, so I'm not going to worry about it at the moment. But I just figured out who it was.
Oh my god. Just stop looking. Anyway, okay. Moving on. Here, let me remove the spoiler alert.
What is this spoiling?
Anyway, season 5 for Only Murders in the Building is already prepared. 10 episodes. That's, I think, every season is 10 episodes. Anyway, the next article is over in the Marvel channel. I had to choose this article that it was submitted because miniature treadmills accelerate studies of insects walking.
I mean, can't you just picture little treadmills with little bugs on them?
They're all running. Yeah, I'm doing the couch to marathon. Yeah,
that's right. At what speed? Like, I don't know, a millimeter per minute or something. I don't know how fast bugs go.
And if it's a caterpillar.
Oh, right.
So fruit flies walking on miniature treadmills are helping scientists learn how the nervous system enables animals to move in an unpredictable and complex world. The article is in phys.org, the University of Washington School of Medicine. I put the article together, and they've got these cameras that are pointed at little bitty fruit flies with a linear treadmill system for 3D tracking of Drosophila walking kinematics. Yeah.
I don't even know what to say about this.
Whatever you want.
I'm having a hard time realizing that a fly can walk on a treadmill.
Wait a minute. So they basically named this fly and then said walk. Because, I mean, they're pretty hard to pin down unless you literally pin them down. So how is that on there? I feel weird. Do they have like a little harness right around their thorax?
That's what I was thinking. Maybe a harness, which that's kind of a problem.
You would think that it would throw off the kinematics. Because it's now braced in some way. But can you imagine if they're like, what does a fruit fly really like?
Well, yeah, I was going to say, do they have something in front of the treadmill that it's walking toward?
Yeah, is it a
laser pointer like cats?
Is it a carrot or a stick? Or you know what I'm saying? That's wild. All right. This is pretty awesome. Anyway, insights from using these fruit flies treadmills were reported August 30th in Current Biology, as opposed to Ancient Biology, which is probably actually a journal now that I said it out loud. Several videos of the flies running on the treadmills are available for viewing in the online research paper. The lead author, Brandon G. Pratt, I think not necessarily affiliated with movie star Pratt, a recent physiology and biophysics PhD graduate of the University of Washington School of Medicine in Seattle and a National Science Foundation graduate research fellow. By the way, all of this, including a PhD, probably doesn't make as much as that other Pratt.
Oh, probably not.
Which is a real shame.
Because, yeah, it is.
That's okay. So they engineered small-scale machines from inexpensive parts based on a prototype from Max Maurer, a UW mechanical engineering alumnus. Why make it hard? This is I guess this is college level, right? And my words are less. Anyway, so how does the nervous system detect these unexpected events and control the body to regain balance during locomotion? That question is being explored in John Touthill's laboratory at the UW Department of Physiology and Biophysics, where Touthil is an associate professor and Pratt conducted his doctoral research. Lab colleagues Sue J. Lee and Grant M. Chow, or Chu, also contributed to the project. You know.
I know.
Wow.
They added like a reference or something. I don't know.
That's right.
It seems like it's not the way it's worded. It doesn't seem like it's on par. Right.
Look, Suyi was just in the stacks, okay, verifying citations. They're out there. What is that?
Maybe they were the one doing the fundamental research.
They're out measuring their mortar boards, you know. Never mind. Anyway, Touthill's lab studies proprioception, how the body continually senses its articulation and movement. Illness, injury, and other factors can interfere with the ability of animals and people to coordinate their bodies and hinder simple tasks like grabbing a glass of water or walking a couple of feet. I really read this wrong. I read it really fast and I started injecting jokes as I was reading that sentence. Simple tasks like grabbing a glass of water.
Oh.
Anyway, I was going to make a joke, but I can't in good conscience. I've already cussed a couple of times. I feel bad.
So much for family friendly.
Yep. So both types of treadmill systems that they created inspired researchers at the Toothill lab to engineer miniature versions to study locomotion in fruit flies. The tiny creatures are a good model system for a study of a neural control of locomotion because they have a compact, fully mapped nervous system. That's right, we talked about that. They've simulated the entire neural system of Drosophila.
Oh, right.
And they've mapped it, right? Like, not only simulated it, but they actually know everything about it, apparently. I mean, like its makeup and areas and stuff like
that. They've mapped the whole genome, I think.
And its structure. They know the genetic structure and design of the Drosophila brain, neural system. So the linear treadmill system in Tuthel's lab coerces flies to walk and allows for long-term 3D tracking, and the researchers were able to analyze walking across various speeds in flies with and without impaired proprioception. So I don't like that, but that's okay. You know?
But I do like that they rode the belt back. I saw that somewhere. Now I lost it.
Sorry. On the treadmill, flies walked in bursts, sprinting to the front of the treadmill chamber and then rode the belt to the back. So, like if you've ever put an animal on a treadmill, they'll run up to the front and then just go, I can't go any further. And they'll stop and they'll ride it all the way until their back legs drop off the roller, and then they'll run back up to the front. And then eventually
so that's pretty fascinating. The flies did that.
Yeah, like everything does that, I guess. I do that too. Yeah. You can't do that.
That's not how you're supposed to use a treadmill.
You can't do that until there's you get your Terminator body. So the researchers also genetically silenced neurons underlying proprioception and ran the insects on the linear treadmill without the sensory feedback. Flies took fewer but larger steps. Surprisingly, the coordination of their legs did not seem to be affected, perhaps because other proprioceptive neurons are more important to coordinate walking, or the nervous system may have compensated for the lack of feedback. Maybe their visual system was involved. I don't know. So yeah, they're going to keep on looking at this and try and figure out how it can apply to humans, but they said the middle legs are ideally positioned to stably pivot the body of the fly about its center of mass, like rowing a boat from its center, the researchers explained. That's kind of no shit news at 8:16. You know?
Yeah.
Moving on. Next article is over in Non Sequitur News. A missing 13-year-old found in adult jail after lying about their name and age, says prosecutor. A prosecutor says a 13-year-old Pittsburgh area girl who was reported missing early last month spent time with adult inmates at a Pennsylvania jail after she lied to authorities about her age and identity following a shoplifting arrest.
I mean, this might be the first time a missing kid has been located in jail.
This is wild. So it's over at abcnews.go.com by the Associated Press. There's no byline other than that, other than AP. So Pittsburgh police posted information about the missing teenager on August 6th, and subsequent reports said that she had been seen in the city and riding on public transportation. The girl had been charged with retail theft after she was caught stealing items from a store in Beaver Falls August 17th, Bible says. Bible is district attorney, specifically Beaver County District Attorney Nate Bible. At the time, she gave police a false name and birth date that led authorities to believe that she was 18. And they didn't verify in some way? I mean, I shouldn't be able to just give you a false name and that's it.
Well, right. I mean, and that shouldn't have worked if they were trying to look up the person or something, right? Because wouldn't they check them maybe like in the, I don't know, the DMV or MVA type records?
Something to verify that they are who they say they are. Oh, well, now we're going to believe you, whatever you tell us. They didn't believe her that she wasn't shoplifting, but they believed whatever else came out of her mouth? What the hell? The teen eventually told officers on several occasions that she was a juvenile from the Pittsburgh area, and they told her they would release her to her parents. However, the girl falsely told them she was homeless, Bible said. During this time, Beaver Falls police contacted child service agencies in Beaver County and Allegheny County, where Pittsburgh is located. Thank you for walking us through that door. To try to find information about her, but since she had given authorities a fake name, no records were found, so hey, we throw her in jail. I mean, at some point you do have to give up, I suppose.
Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, but they could have moved her to
Something.
juvenile detention or something, assuming that even fit.
But if she says she's 18, but she's actually 13, I mean, now I can see why people are like, well, I had no idea, that kind of stuff. If you believe that somebody is 21, but you don't have ID or it's a fake ID, they can get into a bar. They can pretend to be anything they want. But police, like, all right, we trust you.
This is outrageous. I bet this leads to complete redo of the in-processing procedures. I mean, wait a second. Did she go to court, or was she just... Again, why was she jailed for shoplifting? There's so many things about this that don't make any sense.
Yeah, kind of fast-tracked her to jail. But hey, if a judge can put somebody on a field trip in jail...
Well, that's true.
Moving on. Next article is over on 4-Wheel Tech, which is one of our shows. But actually, that's not what I want to do. I want to do this instead. No, hold on. Oh, goodness. I can't. How can I do that? There we go. So I am going to skip that. Doink. Because this is what I want to do. I didn't change it in the rundown. So anyway, this next article is over in 4-Wheel Tech as well, but it's Amazon bans its drivers from moving their own lips too much at work. Yeah, no matter how badly Amazon treats its workers, we all keep shopping there. There have been accusations that drivers weren't allowed to go to the bathroom. The company reportedly left airport workers toiling away in 100-degree heat, and now it's apparently banned drivers from their last remaining joy, moving their lips, singing. The retail giant has reportedly started monitoring delivery drivers who sing along to the radio, claiming it's cause of distracted driving. Owen Bellwood over at jalopnik.com put this article together, but it says it has an update, which must have happened sometime between the submission. So we haven't read this. We don't know what the actual change is.
Do you think Amazon's like, oh, we're not doing this?
So yeah, if they're moving too much. So an update on Wednesday, September 4th at 5:10 p.m., which is, well, Eastern. So it was after it was submitted, but so Amazon reached out to deny the reports of a crackdown on singing along with the radio in trucks and provided this PR video clip as evidence. It says the post is completely inaccurate. Amazon has never issued guidance or communications to delivery service partners that prohibits singing in the vehicle. And it's like a propaganda video. No, we don't. There's a report that I read about how Amazon has robots in warehouses, and because the robots get hot, they have air conditioning in the warehouse for the robots, but not in the warehouse with the humans. Yeah. So, according to a Reddit user, the Freight Waves cited Amazon had begun monitoring mouth movements on its drivers through a camera in the cab of its delivery vans. Too much talking at the wheel, singing along to the radio can set off the camera, leaving drivers susceptible to a distracted driving warning. And I would like to, if that's what happens, then there has to be a paper trail of that actually happening. It has to have happened to more than one person. So come out with it. They basically say in this post, yesterday was the last straw. They quit after their last route. Why? At the morning safety briefing, we go through all the normal remember to stop at stop sign stuff, and they tell us Amazon's trying to really cut down on distracted driving, so we can't be singing along to the radio because the camera will ding you for distracted driving. When people understandably started getting upset, we were told a lot of mouth movement will set off the camera and that we need to keep our mouth movement to a minimum.
This is unbelievable. This is probably the only enjoyment somebody has as a delivery driver during the day, particularly with heat and traffic and all kinds of things.
Yeah. So FreightWaves reports that they asked their network of people on Twitter and LinkedIn about singing while they're driving, and they said that people should be allowed to, which is, again, no shit news. So if there is a paper trail of this, then somebody submit it. You know, post it in ohmTown, post it over in the comments. I would love to see like a screenshot or a video, audio recording or something that basically exposes this as a reality, because I think that it's really kind of batshit crazy. The least invasive thing, or I should say the least distracted driving thing, would be just singing along. If you're sitting there breakdancing like an Olympic breakdancer,
right, like, and using both arms, right, instead of having them on the wheel or something.
Yeah, that's insane though. But I don't put it past anybody. And sending a propaganda video, just kiss my shiny prime ass. All right, moving on. Next article is over in the Mobile channel. Chipotle unitards are coming. This Halloween, Chipotle wants to spice things up and do more than just feed customers. They want you to throw up as well. Oh no, wait, sorry. I mean, you'll just have to buy more. So here's what's coming. Unitards, Chipotle unitards are coming. And that's the suits, not the people.
Why?
So the burrito maker and Spirit Halloween collaborated on a meme-inspired costume collection featuring napkin and fork. Francisco Velasquez over at qzquartz.com put the article together. Starting on September 6th.
Now, Chipotle does get into Halloween. Like, they normally have a promotion. I mean, I'm sure other places do too, but this is a bit over the top.
Well, remember we talked about somebody else saying that, okay, folks, it's a day after Labor Day. Just lean into
right.
Halloween.
Exactly.
Because the next few months is nothing but that. It's like Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Just rapid fire. So all your money's gone, folks. I'm glad that I spent all of mine already. Oh. Anyway, starting September 6th, customers can snag a costume that pays tribute to some of Chipotle's iconic and less than iconic items, including napkin, fork, water cup, burrito, and to-go bag. Each unitard is priced at $40 and will be available in sizes from adult small to extra large. So the unitards, or they're, oh wait, yeah, these the ones that are like all over your head, those are something else, right? Something like a Zorg suit or wait, what is it called? What are those called?
I have no idea.
It's not a unitard. Like a Zorb? No, not Zorb. What is that called? What? Zentai. That's what it's called. A Zentai suit. Yeah, like a full body, like over the head and everything. Like everything is covered, hands, everything. It's called a Zentai suit. Anyway, don't look that stuff up, folks. There's one on Amazon right now that has a name that is dangerously, it's like a risky click. Anyway, full body suits will be up for grabs on Spirit Halloween's website and at select locations across the U.S., including Chicago, Denver, Los Angeles, New York, Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey. What? Customers
that
in
sounds
Canada,
like out of The Great Gatsby.
Customers in Canada can buy, customers can buy a costume online while supplies last. And you know what's going to happen? People are going to be buying these like crazy and then selling them on eBay for 10 times the cost.
Stanley, whatever
cup.
those. Stanley, thank you.
Yeah. So now Stanley should come up with this. Make Stanley Zentai suits. Oh my goodness. I don't get any of this. So
I
is
don't
this
either,
a water
but I
cup?
bet people will buy them.
Which one is what? There's a fork.
I have no idea.
Which one's the napkin? Is that the napkin?
How do we know?
I don't know. Let's move on. Spend too long just tied up in mental knots trying to figure this out. Getting too old for this job. The next article is over in Non Sequitur News. A small bakery is out thousands of dollars after a check for a 1,000 cupcake order turned out to be a scam. Who wouldn't check this? 1,000 cupcakes? Who the hell are you?
Well, true, and paying with a check.
Right. That in and of itself is like, okay, boomer. So a Los Angeles bakery fell victim to a counterfeit check scam involving a $7,500 cupcake order. Check fraud has charged 385% nationwide since the COVID-19 pandemic, according to the U.S. Treasury, and the bakery owner, Loria Stern, bought all the ingredients before realizing she was a victim. Well, other than the eggs, I guess, the refrigerator, well, it's a bakery.
I hope people come in and buy a bunch of cupcakes from her.
Owner of Eat Your Flowers initially welcomed the $7,500 order, saying it was a significant boost to her business and employees. Joshua Nelkin-Zitzer over at Business Insider put the article together, and it's a pretty picture.
The cupcakes look really good.
I don't think that's theirs. So, everything okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, Stern told KABC, doggone it, don't do that. So Stern told KABC that the odd order did raise suspicion, largely because her bakery primarily specializes in cakes and cookies with edible flowers, not cupcakes. She told that she went to her bank to verify its legitimacy after the $7,500 check showed up by priority mail. What the hell?
Okay, there are a few flags here.
So why buy anything? However, according to KABC, shortly after, the person requested the order be reduced by half and asked for 50% refund. I responded and said, no, there's no way we can do that. We've already bought all of the ingredients. We've already made the batter. Oh, geez. She said the bank had reassured her that she would be protected if she had an invoice and email correspondence regarding the order, but KABC reported that the funds were withdrawn from her account the next day. They said, oh, it's been cited as a counterfeit check. Essentially, what the scammer did is they stole another company's checkbook and wrote checks out to different vendors. She was the 15th person that day to report the scam. Somebody was busy.
Yeah, apparently. It seems like a lot of effort to go through for fraud, but...
Well, hopefully she's covered. It said Stern ultimately managed to sell some of the cupcakes, but she was left with a significant amount of leftover ingredients, resulting in a financial loss for her business and an emotional toll on her well-being. Look, you're running a business. Being disheartened about humanity over that, I don't know. You're going to run up against that stuff from time to time. But likely to deceive even trained bank personnel at first? No. If I put the check in and the check bounces later.
Right, did it clear or bounce? And you shouldn't buy anything until after.
Yeah. I would not.
And of course, don't accept checks, right?
How about don't accept checks? Yeah. And I would have called that company up and said, hey, I want to talk to somebody.
Well, right. I mean, did they try to confirm the order?
Yeah, I would have confirmed it. Hey, I got a check from you.
Priority mail check? And that's if that's the only evidence of that order?
It's all kinds of wonky. I just left and right and center. It just doesn't make any sense. If you're running a business and you've been tricked by that, 15 people fell for it? Man.
Well, 15 people reported it. That doesn't mean they also.
Yeah, one got caught in it. Anyway, ugh. So this is why you need a consultant. Just make a phone call. Hey, I got a check for $7,500 via priority mail. Don't use it. Trust but verify. Turn it over
to the police. Yeah.
You know, I can provide this service, by the way. It's expensive, but I can provide it. But it's a portion of that $7,500 a month. Just saying. You don't have to fall for scams. So a new study published in the journal Nano Today reveals that nanoplastics, which are tiny plastic particles less than 1 micrometer in size, may cross the blood-brain barrier. The title of this article is Nanoplastics Have Potential to Cross Blood-Brain Barrier. Study reveals.
Oh no. I think the last reported was microplastics too, right?
In your brain. Yeah. Microplastics in your brain. 0.5% of your brain is microplastics.
Oh, right. Yeah, but now nanoplastics. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. University of Eastern Finland put this article together. It's over at phys.org. They have a little graphic here. They basically took some nanoplastics with plasma and formation of biological corona. Spun it in a centrifuge. Found it in the matter. Blech. The research marks a significant advancement in understanding how nanoplastics might transfer to in human blood and interact with biological systems. It was published in the journal Nano Today, led by Dr. Fazel A. Monik, I think, from the University of Padua, and Dr. Sarka Latonen from the University of Eastern Finland. And Dr. Sarka there, I'm sure I'm pronouncing your first name incorrectly. The international team of scientists investigate. I'm sorry? Doctor. Which one of you is doctor? Doctor. Whenever you go to a convention of doctors.
Oh my goodness.
Doctor,
right.
Doctor. That's from Spies Like Us. Where they're
yes.
They're in the tent.
When they're pretending to be doctors. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the researchers utilized a novel approach by embedding gadolinium, a rare earth metal, into the nanoplastics, allowing precise tracking and quantification of their movement and transformation within the human body. A team found that upon exposure to human plasma, nanoplastics rapidly attract a variety of biomolecules, immediately forming a biological corona that affects their behavior and interactions with cells. The moment that I saw this, I said, I should have said it out loud because, you know, people rarely believe me when I say something after the fact like this. But I instantly said, the plastic probably doesn't present itself as a threat, right? It has some coating on it that allows it to pass through.
Oh, I see. It's like, are you okay? Yep.
Yeah. A gatekeeper. And it doesn't stop it. Many other things don't go through it, like medications and stuff like that. They don't make it through because the blood-brain barrier acts like a big filter and stops anything except the purest of chemistry. And some make it through. So the human blood-brain barrier consists of a tightly packed layer of endothelial cells surrounded by astrocytes and parasites that restrict the passage of a variety of molecules and substances from the blood to the brain. They have to be a certain size. They can't get through. It basically acts like a filter. So their research provides crucial insights into the behavior of nanoplastics in human biological systems. Understanding how these particles cross the blood-brain barrier opens new avenues for developing preventative measures against their potential harm. I don't know how they would ever be able to stop nanoplastics other than stopping nanoplastics.
They'd almost have to like shut down the brain or something, which I know is ridiculous.
Yeah, I've seen some people able to shut down their brain. including myself from time to time.
Maybe they were never activated to begin with.
Hey, there's always that. So this biological corona basically affects the behavior and interaction with those cells and just lets them through. The presence of a biological corona significantly reduced the amount of nanoplastics entering the brain. So yeah, the study demonstrated that both PS and PVC nanoplastics could cross the blood-brain barrier, with PVC particles showing a higher penetration rate. However, the presence of a biological corona significantly reduced the amount of nanoplastics entering the brain. So what is it that allows them to get through? Because if the corona reduce the amount of nanoplastics entering, what was it that allowed them to actually make it through? Because the corona was acquired. Maybe if they're small enough, they get through, but once they've built the corona, that's when they're treated as a threat. Like, you've got stuff on you, you're not allowed in.
Right. I mean, it says exposure to human plasma, but it doesn't explain how or why.
Right. Yeah, so the building of the biological corona actually stops the plastic from getting through. Interesting. So just imagine now, they're going to have to come up with something that attaches to PS and PVC, and then you go into an MRI and you just turn on like a Christmas tree because you've got so much nanoplastic all over you, inside you.
Not good.
Yep. All right, folks. Well, all things must come to an end, like our efforts to cross the blood-brain barrier. And we've been tagged with gadolinium, and when we turn on this device here, we're going to end up snapping back to the front page of ohmTown.com, which is the source of all of this. All of these shows. 6 other shows, right? So like Reality Hacker and Wanted and WarCrafters and the Continuity Report and Technology Today and 4-Wheel Tech. And this show, Non Sequitur News, is all put together by the aggregation site that I put together called ohmTown.com, which is basically there for me to manage my information overload. And you can too. Go over and become a citizen. But that's not where you go there when you're not watching our stream or somebody else's stream on Twitch or YouTube. But there's a community there. You can post messages there. You can go over to the Discord. There's a Patreon and the podcasts themselves that you can download. Please like and review, particularly on YouTube. That helps us out immensely in their algorithm. And it's hard to be discovered on Twitch. But tell a friend. We really enjoy doing the show every day. And on weekends, we do 4 hours worth of show with little breaks in between as we regroup and focus on that particular topic, because the 6 other shows are niche news, aggregated news shows. So anyway, that's it for today. September 4th, 2024. I am Mayor Watt, and that's the voice and visualizer over there.
Nope.
Oh, damn it. I mean, golly. You want to say bye?
Good night, ohmTown citizens. Thanks for joining us for Non Sequitur News. We'll have another episode for you tomorrow. But in the meantime, watch the replay.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to do the replay, and it'll have everything over the last 7 days, including the last weekend's shows and yesterday's show. So all the way up to the 3rd. So. Oh, and we have this too. See you tomorrow.